What's up, Warrior Dad Nation? TJ coming at you here. Today's specialty workout is an arm workout, biceps and triceps, focusing on how to prevent getting elbow pain in the future, or if you have elbow pain, a couple of things that may be contributing to that. And so we're going to do biceps and triceps superset. Now, what I'm going to do is today's workout is going to be focused on if you were in a busy gym, you wouldn't want to have to go around and hop around to a lot of different machines and a lot of different workout stations and so forth, because it's busy, right? So I'm going to do the majority of everything and show you how you can do the majority of everything all in one location, and then with only one or two more stations after this. Okay, now, one of the most common causes of elbow pain is that people will start their tricep workouts with overhead movements, or dips, or one arm overhead extensions, or rope extensions, or lying down skull crushers. But all of those are fantastic later in the workout, not in the beginning. In the beginning, you need to get the oil up out of the oil pan first and put the elbows and those tendons and the long head of that muscle and these tendons that tie in here, put those under the least amount of strain as possible in the beginning. So close to the apparatus, and just simple, you start with a couple of lightweight sets, and then I start adding a plate, add a plate, add a plate, add a plate. And with this, you can even face this way or this way. I'll face this way a lot of the times because then I'll tighten my abs. So I'll tighten my abs while I'm doing the exercise. So every time I'm going down like this, I'm kind of squeezing my abs a little bit. So then you're kind of getting an ab workout at the same time that you're doing your arm workout, making things more efficient. Set number 2. Number 1. Get those warmed up, get the oil out of the oil pan up into the parts, get everything lubricated and greased up, full of blood, flushed with blood, and then I'll throw a little stretch on there, or go like this, not too intensely yet, because it's still early in the workout. Like this, pulling away and down, just slightly, not cranking hard on it, just ever so slightly. Got long-term results. You don't need to lock it all the way down. This is a nothing burger. Keep a little tension on there. I'll show you from this angle. I'm not going to do total failure yet. So, as I progress, then I'll start going to total failure. There's a lot of different ways to do biceps, and I'll mix things up. Sometimes I'll do partial reps. Go the lower half, and then the upper half. So this half down here, and then this half up here. And sometimes I'll go super strict and not move my arms at all. That has its place in time, but also getting this extra contraction, yes, it triggers the front delt just a tiny bit, but go like this, and then go like this. You'll feel the biceps contract even more because the bicep ties in up in the shoulder. So if you go like this, and go like this, and squeeze, you'll feel it contract even more. So I want to maximize that contraction. So that's another tip about that. I'm not going to go super heavy on biceps today because I went really heavy on back the day before yesterday, which used a lot of biceps. So they're already semi-fried. So I'm going to go pretty easy on the biceps today and not like go super heavy weight and go crazy. And that's another thing about listening to my body. Like, oh, I hit back really hard the other day, so my biceps are a little fried. So there's no reason to totally hammer them today because they're still, I can tell they're still recovering a little bit. So I want to stimulate them and flush them with blood, which will promote growth and bring in nutrients, clean out some of the debris from the last workout without punishing them. There's no reason to punish them today. Today it's more about flushing them with blood, going through the motions, and being sort of clean and concise. On a day when they're more rested, then yeah, you can even throw a little body movement in there, like do strict form, and then on your failure reps, crank it out and maximize. It's about mind-muscle connection and maximizing those fibers. I mean, I'm not gonna go like this, but I am gonna pump it a little bit, and you can study any of the top bodybuilders, Jay Cutler, any of Regan Grimes, any of the guys, and they'll all tell you the same thing. You don't always have to do the full range of motion because there's the first part of a lot of movements, there's nothing there. And the top part of a lot of movements, like I wouldn't want to go, when you're doing shoulder press, you don't want to go all the way up because then you're impinging. At our age, we want to stay in constant tension. So when I was doing shoulder presses this morning, this was about the range of motion. And that way you're getting that muscle in the area where it's the most under tension. You're not peaking it way out at a point where you're locking it out, where your triceps are engaged. And you're not going way down where you're going too low that puts too much pressure on the rotator cuff. You're staying right in the in-between range where you're maximizing the tension on that muscle and maximizing the effectiveness of the tension that you're putting on that muscle. You're pushing it with blood, and you're not worrying about going too low or too high. So those are a few extra tips. Let's jump back into this. Now I'm going to show you, because you can do them both ways. I'm going to do some with my back flat to it, just to show you. It does hit it just ever so slightly different, just a pinch. But it is good because, like, if you're pushing more weight, you can sort of lean against that back, and you can kind of use it for leverage. And you'll notice I'm not moving my elbows a bunch. If I move my elbows at all, it's on the up movement, letting that muscle stretch a little bit. But on the down, you don't want to be going like this, because now you're involving your back. Your back is going to be pulling that back. Yeah, triceps are involved a little bit, but I don't want to engage my back too much. So I'll get a stretch on that muscle belly, then I'll keep it in front. Let's try it in the front. Okay, now, still at the same location. Now we're going to change the angle. We've done all the close-up, except for the cable is close to us. Now everything's good and warmed up, and our elbows are safe and lubricated and full blood. Now we can change the angle. Now we're going to start moving away, further away, and that's going to be our second position. I'm going to call it position number one. You always want to start with close stuff to you, rope or a little bar. If you have sensitive wrist, go with the rope. And then, second position, now we're starting to get warmed up. Now we can get further away. third position, I'll lean against the back and we're going to go overhead to get the long head. So that way we can hit as many things as we can possibly in one station. So that if you're walking into a busy gym, you can find one station and you can do as much as possible at that one location on your arm day without having to hop around all over the gym and get in people's way and wait for people and it's crowded and it's a pain in the butt. Forget about it. So, position number 2, move this a little bit. Position number 2. Notice I let the elbows come up a little bit, but I'm not bringing the elbows in like that. Lock the elbows at the bottom position. I'll let them come up a little bit and lock. Up a little bit. Stretch. Stretch so slowly and then lean away. And now I'll do right to the bicep. Okay, back at it. Now, we're still in position number 2 with the triceps, which is a little further away. But tighten your abs when you do these. Whenever you're doing triceps, tighten your abs. Use it as an excuse to do abs secretly while you're doing your triceps workout, so you can kill 2 birds with 1 stone. And you'll see that I'll come up slightly, but when I come down, I'm locking out. I'm not bringing my arms back like this right now. That does have its place in time, and there's a type of tricep movement where we can do that, and actually we're going to do one later on in this workout. Because we're going to do actually 4 positions at one station, and then we're going to only go to one other station to do a finishing movement. So I want to show you how you can do almost everything in one location, and technically you can do a great tricep workout all in one location. The only thing that I'd like to go do after this is go do some dips. So now the closer up stuff is easier on the elbows, just to recap, and is a great overall tricep builder. And then as we start to move out, it puts more emphasis on the long head. Tying from the elbow all the way here, all the way up into the shoulder. But this position is going to get the main big belly of the tricep. It's going to focus on that more. And then the overheads are really going to emphasize that long head and getting it all the way from the elbows all the way to where it inserts into the shoulder. And then we're going to finish things off with some one-handers where we do purposely come behind the front plane of our body and do those, because that actually back here is technically the full contraction, because then it contracts all the way up to where it goes into the shoulder. So that way we're hitting 1, 2, 3, 4 primary positions of the tricep in one workout, and then we're going to finish things off with dips. I'm going to give you a couple tips on those, especially if you've had shoulder injuries or you have a sensitive shoulder. Let's keep going. So we can focus on the longer head of the bicep and the brachialis, the forearms, the top of the forearm there. So you'll see if I go like this, my biceps are already maxed out. Because I worked biceps really hard earlier this week, so they're still kind of fried. Just finished up position number 2 on triceps, but I want to show you something on biceps, a couple little tips. Starting with doubles is harder. So start with your doubles, like on hammer curls or whatever kind of curls you happen to be doing. Make sure to incorporate a little bit of each type of bicep movement into your workout. So if you started because it was busy and the easiest thing to grab was an easy bar, start with your easy bars, right? And you can do some partial reps when you start to, like you're failing, boom, do some partial reps at the top. Get that top finishing movement that ties into the deltoid. And then on dumbbells, you can, whether you're doing them, see the difference is, So like this, see the bicep stays long. When you turn it, it peaks. So hammer curls are going to focus on the longer, filling out the bicep and then getting this part, the brachialis, and then strengthening this part here and the forearm muscles that tie in here. They tie in. Peaking, see when you turn your hand, boom, they peak. So peaking them is one of the other grips. Now, either the peak or the hammers, if you start with both arms, now you start to max out, then switch to alternating and you can squeeze out more reps to stimulate the muscle as much as possible. So let's do a set of that. I'll do traditional grip. Just got stimulation in the muscle. Okay, now here we're going to start on position number 3 for the triceps. I'm going to change the camera angle a little bit, give you a better view of what I'm doing. We're going to put our back to it. And always, even when I just switch positions, the first set is always a little bit of a feeler set. A little bit, one plate lighter, feel it out, and then the next set, boom, I'll drop on a plate. And if I have room to add more, I'll drop another plate, and so on and so forth. Keep dropping plates as much as I can. Go until you can't go anymore. I'll come back at you soon with position number 4 for triceps. Okay, now position number 4 on the triceps. Now we're still assuming it's a crazy packed gym, right? So you just got off work, went straight to the gym because you practice the Warrior Dad principle of wind stacking, where every night when you get home, change out your gym bag, pack your gym bag, stick it by the front door, put your car keys on. Now the next morning when you head to work, you gotta grab that gym bag, grab your keys, drop that in the car. That way you can go straight to the gym after work, or before work or whatever. But that way, it's one less thing that you can end up at the office like, oh, I forgot my gym bag. And then after work, like, oh, and then you get home. Once you go home, you may never make it to the gym again. Pack that gym bag, get it in the car every day. So now, assuming it's still a packed gym, I'm going to take this exact same thing, and just take it like this, tie in the knot, now we're going to do one arm. Lower the weight. And go past. Slightly different angle. I wanted to give you a different angle of things. So you can see when I come back and they go like this, this goes all the way up and connects into the back, up into the back of the shoulder. There's a lot of things that go up and connect into the shoulders. Your biceps, triceps, some other muscles, a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff going on in those shoulder joints. That's why they're so sensitive. So I'm going to finish these out, and then I'll show you the final exercise. So we only move one time throughout this whole workout. We spend this entire time one location, and and then I'm only gonna go somewhere else to do dips. So that way, if you're in a really busy gym, you get the most out of that workout in one place without having to move all around the gym and get in other people's way and have people taking up things, all that jazz. One location, as many exercises as you can, hitting every position of the triceps, the biceps, and then go finish it with some dips. Okay, warrior dads, position number 5, the dips. Done with biceps, and most of the triceps is the last exercise. So, but, I'm stupid again because I'm trying to get the right angle. But make sure, you're gonna see I'm not gonna come up too high, putting that shoulder in a bad position, because I am a person recovering from shoulder injury from when I was younger. It kept me out of the gym for years. But with all my special training techniques, even with the shoulder injury from the past or in the present, you can overcome it. I'm living proof. I've built these shoulders and everything with the shoulder injury. And with my techniques, I'm overcoming the shoulder injury to the point where it's very, very, very minimal. There's a whole nother series of videos that I can do on that, and really very customized coaching that I do for that. But I'll show you a couple of my techniques right now. One is sitting more forward on the bench, not sitting way back here, not leaning too far forward, a little lean forward, and a narrower range of motion, just focusing on that screen, keeping my elbows tucked in. I don't want to flare my elbows out, because that puts the rotator cuff in a bad position. So I want to tuck those elbows in and bring them back behind me, not out to the sides like this. I want to bring them back. And see, you can't even, if you're keeping your elbows back, you can't even bring your arms very high. If you bring them up here, you have to engage the whole shoulder cuff, and you can see my shoulders raise up. See why? I have to bring my whole, so if I'm keeping my shoulders pressed down, my lats are tight, my abs are tight, my chest is tight. That holds that whole shoulder structure tight and in a safe position. So it's very controlled. It's a very short range of motion, but it allows you to put size onto those triceps and hit some of the underside of your pecs so you don't have saggy pecs. I guess it's a little too light. Hold on. The machine's a little different than the gym I normally go to. And you can play with hand positions too. You can move them further back. You can open your hands up. Don't let yourself come way up like that, even getting out of it. Rise up with it. Always keeping those shoulders in a strong, healthy, cemented position. There's another machine that I use at my other gym that I actually prefer to this one. Something about the angle of this one and the way the handles are shaped doesn't allow me to get in just the right position. The other one has the sort of a rounded ends on the handles instead of these, it's got more of like a rounded knob, so you can, if you can get your hand in this position instead of this to the side, if you can get your hand like this, that's even better. You just gotta be careful about things where you gotta go down too deep. You wanna keep it more shallow. Keep those elbows back. So ideally, at my other gym, I can really keep it in an optimal position. This one puts it in a little bit of a compromised position, but I want to show you what it's like at any gym. So you can put these to wider if you're taller or narrower. Let's try the wider position. Let's see how that feels on this particular machine. I'm just going to leave the weight what it is right now. No. I'll tell you why. I can already tell that's not good. Just for me and my frame, that makes me flare my elbows out. Flaring the elbows out, boom, put that shoulder in a compromised position. I want to keep it narrow, shoulders or elbows back, like that. So that is it for today's video. I hope you've gotten some great helpful tips out of this. Feel free to follow along and do this workout yourself. Fantastic workout. Don't forget to like and subscribe, hit the notification bell. We're gonna have more and more videos coming out. A video a week, and then pretty soon 2 videos a week with great content, great helpful tips, all about long-term fitness, not get fit quick stuff that's gonna get us injured, and not ego-driven stuff that's gonna get us injured, okay? Those are today's Warrior Dad tips of the day. Hope you guys are doing fantastic. Coming at you soon. TJ, Warrior Dad, signing off.